Vaping and Juuling. Everybody thinks vaping and Juuling is a safe alternative to smoking, but as you can see, vaping and Juuling affects all parts of the body. After 3 days of it, it increases inflammation and mucus production, and it alters lung function. It can cause atherosclerosis, stroke, or an aneurysm, and it also, after a while, can cause brain damage to the front of the brain, leading to altered decision-making and emotional problems. You'll either receive popcorn lung, or what can happen too is the lungs cannot take any more, and they'll pop, leading to an insertion of a chest tube into the side here. And if you receive popcorn lung, the only alternative is a lung transplant.
So the main ingredients in vape juice are listed right here. The first one is diacetyl, and that one's linked to permanent lung damage. So this is the chemical that is known to cause popcorn lung. As like Brittany said, the only treatment for popcorn lung is a lung transplant, pictured right there. The second chemical is known as acrolein. This is known to cause damage to the DNA in the body cells. Acrolein is commonly found in weed killer, and so this is the component that is known to cause cancer, as well as formaldehyde, which is used as a medical preservative and in medical laboratories. Formaldehyde is specifically linked to nasal cancer and myeloid leukemia. And then obviously nicotine is found in the chemical as well. Nicotine is a highly addictive substance and is known to be as addictive as heroin in some cases. Nicotine has also been proven to cause a multitude of different disease processes like heart disease, lung cancer, hypertension, diabetes mellitus, and the list goes on and on and on with that.
So next we decided to talk about some of the myths and facts related to vaping and Juuling. So the first one is that the myth is that it's not addictive. The fact is that e-cigarettes are addictive, and while you can get some of the pods that don't contain nicotine, most of them do. And as Liv said, anytime a smoker inhales nicotine, it's extremely addictive and harmful. The second myth is that you can smoke and vape indoors because it's just vapor. And the fact is that you can't use them indoors. At first they were marketed to be the alternative for smoking because you could use them in places where traditional smoking wasn't used, but most states have laws that prevent you from vaping in the same places that smoking wouldn't be allowed. The third myth is that vaping has nothing to do with smoking regular cigarettes. And the fact is that young people who take up vaping are 4 times more likely to start smoking actual cigarettes within a year.
I also did some myths, and these are more of our most commonly heard myths. And one of them is that e-cigarettes are a safer alternative to smoking. And from what Liv said about all the chemicals, it is not true at all. Most of the chemicals in vaping juice are the same chemicals in regular cigarettes. One Juul pod contains 5% nicotine, which is the amount of nicotine in one package of cigarettes. So kids that are buying upwards of 3 Juul pods in a week, that's 3 packs of cigarettes, and I have seen people even do more than that. So all that nicotine is extremely addictive, and that just deteriorates your lung function. Another myth is that vaping is just flavored water, and there's not even water in the ingredient list. There's no water at all in vaping juice or Juul pods, and you'll even see around the hospital, they'll have like the no smoking signs around like the offices, the parking lots. And this is included for vaping because that blow-by, the secondhand smoke, is just as dangerous as regular cigarettes to people that are getting that secondhand smoke. And the last myth that we have is vaping has no health effects. And again, this is not true. All those chemicals that we talked about earlier, those cause serious problems to your heart. All those juices are digested by and filtered by your liver. It can cause serious liver damage. And again, all of our lung defects that can happen, those happen as well with vaping. Just some points about vaping in general. The cost of vaping is actually more expensive than a pack of cigarettes. You are paying for the device itself, whether it is a vaping cartridge or a Juul thing, the Juul stick, and that's upwards of $30 to $50 just for one Juul stick. And then you're paying for the pods and depending on where you buy them, they're upwards of $15 to $16. So the cost of this is even more expensive, especially if you're going through lots of pods or the cartridges for vaping. So this isn't even, it's not healthier, and it's not even the cost is outrageous compared to a pack of cigarettes.